Hello, Glenys Trinder here. It's been a while since I've made a video at all, but I just want to give a little energy update for the month of April. And boy, is it some month. So I'm going to, in this video, talk to you a little bit about roughly what's happening in the whole month, but mostly the full moon tomorrow night. And then some, energy on that, what we need to do, how we can best navigate through this crazy time. And also, I'll be talking about where you can get a meditation that I have that may help. Um, yeah, I'll make this as briefly as I can. I'm going to pull some goddess cards as well because there's a lot of goddess energy in this month. Anyway, I feel, and I'm not sure about you, whether you've noticed the shift. Now, the Aries sun moved into Aries on about the 20th, 21st, I think, of this month. We did have Mercury retrograde, so you may not have felt that forward moving energy until now. I feel, in fact, that I've been in some sort of a coma for the past, actually, if I could say it, it's probably going back a few years, but it's like almost like that energy really has started to take action now, and there's a huge feeling of forward momentum. There's so much good in this, but it's also going to be a little tricky. So the full moon is tomorrow. So tomorrow night, in the middle of the night, so Irish UK time, it's something like 3:13 a.m. So if you're in America, it's going to be late in the evening. But full moons where the sun is opposite the moon is always going to have a challenging energy. This is the first moon in Aries, and I always feel with Aries, this to me is the real new year. And there are lots of new years. There's the 1st of January, and there's when the fire horse energy, which started on, when was that, the 17th actually, which was my birthday. I didn't wake up that easily on that day, but right now there's, moving into this, it really feels like there's this real power energy. So the fire horse, actually the last time there was a fire horse year, it was 60 years ago, and that was in 1966. And it would have been around the time when they started singing, the dawn of the age of Aquarius, and there was a huge amount of revolution and fight for freedom and justice and equality all over. So that was going on 60 years ago. So we're actually moving into this real time now, because this actually is, I believe, the age of Aquarius year. It's everything that's happening right now. We're in a one universal year. If you add 2026, it reduces to 10, and that reduces to 1, which is a one universal year, new beginnings. It also, there's this the fact that Neptune and Saturn went exactly at 0 degrees of Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, on, I think it was around the 20th of March. And that was really powerful as well. The two of those, first sign of the zodiac, first degree of the first sign, and they haven't met there for something like over 6,000 years. Heather Ainsworth, brilliant lady, went back and went through all of the logs of all of the times and dates of the astrological dates to find that out. This is really a powerful sign that something big is happening. Now, I usually start my videos with, I'm not an astrologer, but I have this, really unhealthy interest in it. Over the past few months, more than that, I've been really delving into it, and I have actually decided I am studying at the moment astrology. I've done my first level, and I'm going to be an astrologer at the end of this year, because I want to go on and do the second part, which is really the second part of what I'll be learning is how to read the transits and the aspects. I know a little bit about that, but I'm so excited to be doing this now because it really has lit uh, a fire underneath me. And really, I feel with astrology, when you look at your own birth chart, you can read, or I can read birth charts now, but you could see every single thing about where you are, what your challenges have been in the past, what your challenges through life are, where, you know, your mission and your purpose. So it's absolutely really exciting to me right now. And this year I just felt I have to do something else, something big. So that's where I'm at. So the full moon is actually really kind of happening, well, it's happening at 12 degrees of Libra. So the moon is in Libra, the sun is in Aries, and Libra is that balanced justice. It's a beautiful sign. It's a yin energy. It's ruled by, what did I say, Libra? Yeah, it's ruled by Venus. So it has that lovely balance of heart and warmth and wants to make everybody happy. So that's where the moon is going to be, and the sun then is in Aries, which is the yang side, the masculine energy. And on the positive side of Aries, there's a lot of initiation, power, forward momentum, because it's start energy. Aries is the I am, and I'm going to do this, or I am going to start something, or what is it right now that you really have a drive and an interest to do. So the two of those together. Now the shadow side of Aries can be warlike, and it can be, you know, it's sort of that it can be aggressive as well. So we're going to have to watch for that. And in any full moon, there is a sense of closure, completion, things coming to completion, culmination. So if you've been working on something, there may be a sense of completion now. And so we complete and we release, we let go of the old, we let go of some pattern in a full moon, some pattern. What is it that you're done with? What would you really like to move away from? Now, if you do know your birth time, and you know, if you have a birth chart, and you know, if you know your time of birth, you can actually get a free birth chart anywhere almost online, and find out what house sign this it's 12 degrees of Libra falls in. So, you know, I know what time mine falls in, and it's actually completing a part of my chart that I'm actually really happy to be releasing now and letting go and moving on to the next thing. But even if you don't know your exact time, you may actually have a sense of what you're done with right now. And this is a brilliant time to release, to let go, to look inside, to see, you know, what what can you do instead? You know, what, when you know what you don't want, you can move forward with what you do want. You can create something better with what you do want. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, or may put it on Facebook as well, there should be a link in the bio for a full moon guided meditation, which actually I did myself today, and I've made it quite a bit ago, but it really still does work. It really, I felt, there's a bit of energy healing in it, where you can ground and get into that place, and then get a sense of what you want to release and what you want to let go of. Best to do it when you know what you're going to work on, and then when you've released something, you know, what is it you want to bring in again. And I've also done something with a bubble of energy and grounding and connecting to your highest self and all of that in that meditation. I think it's about 10 minutes long, 10 or 11 minutes long, so it's short enough to do, but actually has a really profound effect. Now, at the moment, you may notice your family, you may notice your friends. I'm even noticing the collective every time I go out, or even I'm downtown, wherever, I'm meeting people and I can sense or see that their energy is all over the place. I've often spoken about before, I have a very sensitive son who's on the autistic spectrum, so he feels things. He's incredibly sensitive to these energies. So there is that I know there's a sort of a volatility bubbling up inside him as well at the moment. So this is really important to do right now. What I would suggest you work on over the next day or two, and even moving forward. So the full moon is um, on the 2nd of January at 3:13 a.m. Irish UK time, but that full moon lasts for about three and a half days. So you can use this energy over the next 3 or 4 days to really anything that's coming up to let go and release, so that you are getting ready for 2 weeks' time, because there is a massive, really exciting new moon in Aries on the 17th of April. In fact, the beginning of April is going to feel fast, furious. There's one event after another happening. All planets, all of the outer planets now, except for Uranus, which will move into its next sign on the 26th of this month, but all three of the outer planets are already in their new signs for the long haul. And they're all in water and, sorry, they're all in fire and air signs. Uranus will be moving into Gemini on the 26th, so that will be all of the outer planets fully in their signs now. And that's going to really feel fast. It could, fire and air also can be eruptive energy. So what do we do to help that? How do we help the collective? How do we help people around us? And how do we help the people in the world right now? In fact, there has never been, that I'm aware of, or since my 64 years, such an immense feeling of kind of sadness and suffering and fear in the world. Now we can focus on that, and we can get angry about that, or we can march or do all of those things, but is that going to help? I don't believe that that is the energy that's going to help. And what's his name? David R. Hawkins, who wrote Power versus Force, where he did kinesiology on various emotions to find the energy of these emotions. And one person, so it's rated on a scale of 0 to 1,000 if you're not familiar, and each degree up is multiplied. So every degree up, if you can imagine, the way I look at this is almost like it's a pyramid, or a circular pyramid. So that 1 degree is just at the very lowest emotions are moving very, very slowly. But as they get up further, they're moving so much faster that when you vibrate or sit in a sensation of love for nature, love for your family, love for yourself, love for the planet, love for your neighbors, love for those that need help. If you can send peace and love without going into sadness, without going into anger, without going into suffering, without going into fear, if you can sit in love, one person vibrating at that frequency, according to David R. Hawkins, can affect 750,000 people vibrating at a lower frequency. Now, obviously, if you are in a difficult situation, and if you are in the trauma of something big, you're not able to bring yourself up. But what we can do, or the rest of us who are, whatever we are doing right now, the best thing that we can do is to actually love and to send positive energy. I think actually moving forward in this month, we're going to have to be very focused on where our energy is going at all times. Focused where we feel, um, and tuning in regularly to see what you're feeling, to feel what you're feeling. Um, and even when you're feeling it, to stop. If you're feeling a negativity, if you're thinking a difficult thought, to be aware of it as soon as possible so that you can just sit. You know, it only takes kind of a minute or less, maybe 4 or 5 deep, slow breaths, breathing in. You know, I like to breathe at my own pace. I know there are various different breaths where you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, and hold for 4. And in that square box breathing will bring down your rate. But even if you just sit and consciously breathe in and out of your belly, just slowing it down and breathing in and out of your belly. And again, you can also breathe in and out of your heart. And as you breathe in and out of your heart, just get a sense that your heart is opening and you're feeling this sense of love. Now, in that meditation that I mentioned, there is a little bit of that in it, and I think that that's a really good place to start. There's also a linked tree. Is it linked tree? Which I have a list of all of my freebies and different things. On that link in the bio, you will find, I think there's a world meditation as well and a few other things. So do check that out, because we need right now to come together as humanity. And I think the vast 95.5% of 99.9% of people in the world do not want war or starvation or anger. We don't want that. Humanity really wants to come together. I do think that there are a certain group of people at the very top of that, and I will call it that Piscean age of top-down structure, and it is crumbling. And we've been seeing it crumbling for some time. What we've got to see now, and what we are seeing, is the breakdown before the breakthrough. The old has to crumble before the new comes in. And it is hard to watch. It's hard to, daily, if you're still watching the news or mainstream, stop. It's just all sort of just fear, fear, fear. And when you watch something of fear, it's only going to bring you more fear. But if you can sit in love, you're not going to, you're going to be told about things. You're going to know things are happening. But actually, if you can just sit in peace and love and create your own world. What is it that you want to create? What kind of a world can you create? If we all come together, and I want to do something like this month, come together and create something huge for humanity. And how are you going to feel in that? Now, do let me know either in the link in the bio or email me, glenys@glenystrinder.com, or if you're getting this on my email, just reply if you want to take part in a meditation or some sort of I'm working it out because I have just woken from this slumber. If you want to create something bigger for the world and for yourself, let me know, because I'd love to assist. If I get enough people that are interested, I'll do something like that. And I will do something like that for free. I just want to help humanity in my way. So if you're interested in that, do let me know. I'm just check my notes here. Have I said everything? So as the month is going on, it's going to get fairly intense. The full moon is the new moon on the 17th is actually a beautiful time of the month, and the day before that new moon, I want to do something where we're releasing something so that we can actually be ready to set our intentions for that whole new age. And the energy is going to get faster and faster when all of the planets all planets are moving direct. Did I say that right now? All planets are moving direct. So there is this feeling of momentum. Mercury was the last one, and we're coming out of the shadow period. It's still in it a little bit, but I've really felt the energy shift yesterday and today, even at the weekend. But it's getting lighter and faster, and you may be feeling like you're waking up from something. In the last few years, we've had a lot of planets in water and earth signs, and while every sign or every element, water, earth, fire, and air, is important, the two together, I found, for me, was really heavy, really dense, and I felt like I've been wading through mud, which water and earth will do. But it's the energy now is going to be very, very fast, and we're going to have to take responsibility for our own, our own mindset, our own inner state, because we cannot control what's happening outside there. We can control what's happening inside. And in fact, I believe when we control what's happening inside of us, we have an impact. We have that butterfly effect on the rest of the world when we create our own inner life. I did hear that the new moon, or the full moon tomorrow, is going to really shine a light on leadership. So whether you're a leader, shine the light on leadership, but leadership in the world, and looking at, right, the leadership in the world. Is it fair? Is it just? Is it working in our interest? And I think you'll know what I feel about that. But definitely that full moon is going to shine the light on that, and we could see a lot of change in leaderships, and I think a lot of people will be very, very happy with that, whatever that is. Then it's also, there's a sense of, it's asking us really to step into our sovereignty. Aries is one of the signs, as well as Leo, which is very assigned to sovereignty. Now, sovereignty isn't one-upmanship, it isn't kingship, it isn't, it isn't being royal. What it is, for me, I feel sovereignty is being who you are, who you're designed to be. It's knowing that you are created uniquely, just as you are. You've got everything already in you right now to create the world that your heart really wants to create. And when you really allow yourself to sit in that feeling of you are here right now at this time because you chose to be, because you're here for a reason, to assist this incredible time in history to up level, and there's a huge up level coming. But we've got to go through, we've got to see the old. The old has to crumble in order for the new to come in. And that's what is, feeling icky right now. But we've got to really be our sovereign selves. What is it you're here to do? So as I have been studying astrology, and I feel like I've known, I did go into the astrology course kind of knowing quite a lot, and also I did discover that I have so many planets in Aquarius. Apparently that Aquarian energy makes really good astrologers, are really interested astrologers, and I've been interested in it for some time. But I've also learned so much about myself in my own chart, and I'm so excited about working. And I've worked with some people, some of my one-to-one clients, with looking at their charts and just reading them for them. And if you're one of those that are waiting for me to get back to you with yours, I'm a little slow at the beginning because I just want to get it all perfect, but it is really powerful. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to pull a few of these cards, and these are goddess cards. They are what I feel is very much assigned with that Libra energy of the full moon tomorrow. So I'm just going to pull a few cards and just asking, tuning in and asking for in love and light. What do we need? Some messages to move forward. I feel like this is a big one. And yes, oh my goodness. I'm going to, if any card jumps out, I'll take, and if not, I'm going to just cut the pack. And interesting. Okay, so the card that jumped out first was Ostara, which the goddess Ostara, which is about fertility, and this is an incredibly fertile time. You know, it's the beginning of something new. Your ideas are fertile when you focus on what you want, when you set your intentions and set your ideas. Now, a full moon isn't typically when you set your intentions, but you can have an overall intention anyway at any time. Um, what is it that you want to change? How could you imagine your life, the life of your family, the life of the world better? And we're in the Northern Hemisphere, at least in that springtime now, in that Aries new beginning energy. What can what big dream can you make real? How can you set that dream in motion? There's something here, starting. It's the perfect time to birth new ideas, to really give birth to a new way of being. And over the course of this year, I feel that there's going to be so much opportunity to make that happen. The second card is guiding children. And I'm thinking with this card, well, there is a sense that the wording on this card is that you're good with counseling children, you're good with being with children. If you're listening to this, you're good with being with children. I also feel that there's an energy with this is, you know, that we need to do that on ourselves, and we need to see all our brothers and sisters all over the world as children as well. Humanity is coming together, and it's like there's a sense that as we love ourselves as that child inside, and love our family, love our friends, love the people around us, that sense of loving energy is what will have a ripple effect on the whole world. And I suppose that really kind of, so if it is the children, and if this resonates with you, use your skills now to work with children. But I feel that this is more of a collective thing moving forward. We've got to start with the heart, and we are all divine children of source intelligence, divine source intelligence, and we're here for a reason. We were put here for a reason. And this card then I just had fallen out on the table, and it's Artemis, just reminding you that you've got a guardian, that you're being looked after, that you and your family, is that a goat? It's not. It just reminds me of the goat in, the Aries goat, but you and your family are divinely protected and looked after. Remember, we're all energy. Remember that we've all come from the divine, and we're here right now to do something. And actually, what I'm getting now is, if you have a big idea, if you're trying to start something, if you've been thinking of something and putting it off, now is the time. This energy right now, as all those planets are moving forward, now is the time. And it's sometimes that energy as well of Aries is very much about kind of taking action, digging deep, going beyond, where you've been, maybe investing in yourself or starting something new, but trusting that you can do this. And that card is just reminding you that you and your family and your loved ones are safe and protected while you make those big decisions. So that's it. Oh my goodness, I've gone on talking for 29 minutes. So that's the way of things. Love you all. Keep moving forward. I would love you to like or share, subscribe by just clicking the subscribe button so that you'll get these, and leave a comment. Leave a comment. I'm going to be in here more often now that I have woken up. Lots of love for now. Bye.